So you're looking at a company thinking about investing, but have you ever wondered who really owns it? I mean, who's actually behind the scenes? Today, we are going to peel back the curtain and look at a company's ownership breakdown, and I'll tell you why this is one of the most important checks you can do before putting your money down. Let's get right into it. I want you to imagine something. Think of a company as this massive ship sailing on the giant ocean we call the stock market. Now, some of these journeys are super smooth. Others, well, they get pretty stormy. The real question is, who is on board this ship? The answer to that question, it can tell you pretty much everything you need to know about where it's headed. And that brings us to this thing called the shareholding pattern. The easiest way to think about it, it's the official passenger list for our company's ship. It's a document that literally tells you who is at the wheel, steering the whole operation, and just as importantly, who is trusting that ship with their hard-earned money. So what is it, technically? Well, it's a report that breaks down a company's ownership into percentages showing you exactly who owns what slice of the pie. And here's the thing, in India, every single company listed on the stock market has to publish this data every quarter. It's public information. It's a completely transparent look at who holds the power and where the real confidence is. A lot of the time, the report will look something like this donut chart. You can see the whole ownership pie is carved up between 5 main groups. You've got the promoters, foreign institutional investors, we'll call them FIIs, domestic institutional investors, or DIIs, the government, and of course, the public. So let's do that. Let's meet these 5 passengers one by one, because understanding who they are and, more importantly, what makes them tick is absolutely the key to decoding this whole pattern and, making much smarter investment choices. We're going to dive into each of these 5 in detail. The promoters, the FIs, the DIs, the government, and the public. So let's kick things off with arguably the most important group of them all. First up, the promoters. These are the captains of our ship. Simple as that. They are the founders, the owners, the people with the original vision who are actually steering the company day to day. Their hands are literally on the wheel. Now you have to pay close attention to what the promoters are doing. If they own a high percentage of the company, say over 50%, that means they have strong control and a ton of skin in the game. If you see them buying more shares, that is a massive vote of confidence in their own company. But if they start selling their shares, that is a huge red flag. It kind of suggests the captains are losing faith in their own ship, right? Next, let's talk about the foreign institutional investors, or FIIs. Just think of these as the global tycoons. We're talking about massive overseas investment funds, pension funds, you name it. These guys have armies of analysts, and they only park their billions of dollars in what they believe are the absolute best, highest quality ships in the entire market. And believe me, when these tycoons decide to get on board, it has a huge effect. Because they do such deep research, their investment is seen as a stamp of approval. So when FIIs start buying, the stock price can shoot up, and fast. But here's the warning. When they decide it's time to leave the ship, that price can drop just as quickly. Okay, our third group, the domestic institutional investors, or DIIs. If FIIs are the global tycoons, DIIs are our local powerhouses. These are India's own financial giants. We're talking about all the mutual funds, big insurance companies like LIC, and major banks. What are they investing? They're investing the collective savings of the Indian public. Now, DIIs usually have a very different strategy. They tend to play the long game. They're looking for stability and steady growth over many years. So when you see DIIs consistently buying into a company quarter after quarter, it's a signal of deep, real confidence in its long-term future. And on the flip side, if they start selling off, it might be a hint that they've spotted some kind of fundamental weakness. This creates this really fascinating tug of war. On one side, you have the FIIs, these global players chasing quick growth, which can make a stock go up and down like a yo-yo. And on the other side, you've got the DIIs, our domestic players, focused on long-term stability. Very often, they act as a balancing force, buying when the FIIs are selling and selling when the FIIs are buying. Passenger number 4 is the government. Think of the government as the ship's guarantor. The government typically invests in companies that are strategically vital for the country. We're talking about sectors like power, oil and gas, defense, and the railways. So if you see a big government stake in a company, it usually means 2 things: stability and policy support. These companies are very unlikely to fail, but their growth is often slow and steady, not explosive. It's a very clear sign that the company is considered important on a national level. And finally, we get to the public. Yep, that's us. Retail investors like you and me. We are all the individual passengers on the ship, each of us holding our own little ticket for the journey. Now, even though our individual holdings are small, when you put us all together, we play a massive role. We provide the liquidity in the market, making it easy to buy and sell shares, but our collective emotions can also create some pretty huge waves. Widespread panic selling can cause a stock to crash, and on the other hand, mass panic buying can inflate a really dangerous bubble. So with all these different people on board, who should we be watching? Let's talk about how to track the smart money, basically the investors whose actions tend to move the share price the most. This table pretty much sums it all up. When promoters are buying, it's a bullish signal. The captain is confident. When FIIs are buying, it signals the potential for fast growth. When DIIs are buying, it suggests long-term stability. And what about when the public is buying in huge numbers? Well, that often just points to more volatility. That's exactly why smart investors keep a close eye on those first three. All right, let's bring this all home. We're going to put this all together into a really practical checklist. Think of this as your formula for spotting a well-run ship that has a really high chance of a successful voyage. So here it is, the ideal pattern. Number 1, high promoter holding. That shows confidence. Number 2, rising interest from both FIIs and DIIs. That tells you the smart money is getting on board. 3, if it applies, a stable government stake. And finally, number 4, a controlled, not too high public holding, which generally means less extreme volatility. This combination is often a fantastic recipe for a great long-term investment. So let's wrap this up. Why does all of this actually matter? Why is checking this passenger list so incredibly important for your own investment journey? Let's switch metaphors one last time just to really drive the point home. If investing is your train ride to creating wealth, then the shareholding pattern is the train's itinerary. You absolutely want a confident driver. That's the promoter. You want the first-class cars filled with premium, smart passengers. Those are your FIIs and DIIs. The shareholding pattern is what tells you if you're about to board an express train to success or one that's headed for a major delay. So I'm going to leave you with this one final thought. Before you ever buy a single share of a stock, always check the passenger list. See who owns it, see who's buying more, and see who's selling. Why? Because at the end of the day, there's a simple truth in the market. Money always follows smart money.